Coach, I'm here on your right. Can you take us through your decision-making as far as Nico was concerned today and how you think he responded to what was asked of him?
I thought he responded well. I thought, like I said, KD defensively to start and then try to get to that small lineup with all shooting on the floor, which helped us get the lead, gave James and Kawhi more spacing, and I was able to attack when we went small. And so, I told the guys after the game, KD and, Ben still up cheering. I talked to those guys, and it's about being a team and whatever it takes to win. And those guys totally understood it, even though they've been great for us all year long, And so just want to say thank you to them. But, our guys came out and played well tonight. I thought to start the game, attention to detail was really good. And then when we went small with that shooting lineup, I thought we was able to break the game open a little bit.
Yeah, backs against the wall, obviously, but when you look at the performances you got from your top scorers, at least traditionally, what did you make of James, Kawhi, and Norm?
Yeah, I thought James did a great job setting the tone early, scoring the basketball, getting downhill, making the right play. Norm made some big shots at the end, and Kawhi was just kind of steady throughout the game. But I thought those three guys really stepped up, came to play. I thought Zoo was a monster on the defensive end tonight, getting closer to Joker, not giving us as much space. And, Joker just it's just hard. If you double team him, he's going to pick you apart with his passing. If you stay at home, he's going to score, And so I give our guys credit just staying with it, Don't get deflated. And, we did a good job just keeping our head.
Ty, when you talked about checking that temperature, I think it was great. What was it about those conversations that basically assured you and assured them that you guys could win this game?
That they were positive. They were positive and understood that, the series could have been 3-2 our way easily, And so just staying the course. They're a really good team. They have 5 starters, 4 of the starters returning, been there for like 4 or 5 years. They won a championship, and they know how to play. And so, coming out at, game 5 at their place, they were really aggressive. I thought Joker really led the charge with Jamal Murray, stepped up and having 43. But I thought early on Joker was aggressive. Then that opened everything up for Jamal Murray. And so we just got to stay the course. Game 7 is going to be tough, but we're ready for the challenge.
Ty, this is kind of a 2-part question. Is there a reason why you didn't start Batum, or like you kind of wanted to save that for the second half? It was part 1, and part 2 is when you go to that small lineup, what do you have to do defensively to keep Jamal in check, right? Or to keep their you take defense, if you trade defense for offense, you obviously have to still play some defense out there.
Because I wanted to get to the small lineup against their second unit. With, like I said, with shooting, we had Norm, Bogey, Nico, Kawhi, and James. DJ was in there for a stretch, but then we brought Norm in. And I thought we was able to push the pace. I thought we was able to get open shots, get to the paint, kind of spread them out a little bit so they couldn't just load up and try to take away driving lanes. And so that was the reason. But then, in the second half, like I said, just going to that and seeing how good it was, just to kind of space the floor, was really huge for us. And so just, I wanted to get to that small lineup against their second unit in that second quarter. That was the main reason why.
Ty, that decision to go to Nico to start the second half, is that something that you guys had pre-planned and discussed going in, or is this at halftime you're like, this is the change that needs to be made? I can't even talk. Be made. Sorry. My brain. It's a long night.
Yeah, I was just going over it, the last 24 hours of just different rotations to try to exploit what they were doing, and so I thought KD would get us all to a great, defensive start to start the game, and then I can get to that small lineup that I wanted to get to against DeAndre Jordan on the floor and give us spacing, and it worked, and so in the second half, I thought having the space in the way James and Kawhi were able to attack, I thought really opened up the floor, and so we just did it to start the second half because Nico was really playing great.
And then with James, the last 36 minutes of this game, what do you think that lineup was able to do for him specifically? Because he did get going that second quarter.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought we did a good job of just, in transition, Zoo diving to the basket, letting James go one-on-one and create to keep him out of blitz. I thought he did a good job attacking one-on-one. Our spacing was really good tonight, and he was able to get to the paint, get to the basket, and so just talking about just opening it up for him and allowing him to play, one-on-one to get to his spots.
So your point guard is in his 16th season. we've all seen the load that he's had to carry. Like, how impressed are you that he's able to play that many minutes? I think it's his third time in this series. I think he played 40 minutes 5 times in the regular season. Like, how impressed are you that he's able to not just be on the floor, but to be in this kind of position to lead your team?
Yeah, very impressed. Like I said, he wants to play every night. He's in great shape, trained for these moments. He wants to play, and so I knew, with the lineup that I wanted to get out there in the second quarter, he would get a quick breather. Kawhi came back in for him, and then we brought James back to start the second quarter to really give us some offensive firepower, and it worked, and so, he got worn down, got a little tired, took a couple timeouts to try to, to save him, but like I said, he wanted to play, he wanted to compete, and like I said, he brought us home tonight.
All right, you've been in Game 7s before. What are those games like? What does it take, and what do you expect you guys need to do to win the Game 7?
Come out with a defensive mindset and then in attack mode on both sides. Like, we know each other's plays, we know what we're trying to do, we know how we're trying to exploit mismatches, and we just got to go for it. Lay everything out on the line, and these are what you live for. Growing up as a kid, being in the playoffs, Game 7s, and so we got to come, ready to go, especially with a defensive mindset, but offensively being aggressive, attacking the paint, attacking the basket, and go from there.
Will you talk to them again about Game 7s? Or will you just talk about just try to win another game?
Just talk about things we got to get better at. Our spacing a couple times, how they're trying to play James. Our pace, just like keeping that pace of just trying to play in transition, play before they get their defense set. And I thought we did a better job of that tonight, but we can go to another level.
Back to your temperature check. So what was the temperature check like with James as he's trying to figure out how to manage the ups and downs of this?
Yeah, it was great. We had great conversations, just how to open them up, open the floor up, and just, talking through some stuff and bouncing ideas off each other. And, it was good, and so being one of the best ISO guys we've seen, probably in NBA history, we just talked about giving him more space, giving him more ISOs and one-on-ones. We know they're blitzing him, every time with the 5-man. So just, try to go guard, pick and rolls, and try to attack from there. And he did a great job, especially starting the game.
A few more.
Ty, you didn't happen to leave any money at the Ball Arena, did you?
No, I didn't.
When you look at Nico's impact, though, I know we've talked about just his high IQ, but just the ability to get some of those, a weak side block after it looked like Nicola had him beat. Just plays like those, like how does his just ability to do those kind of things just allow you to do so many different things because he's able to do those?
Just look what he did defensively. Second half he guarded Jamal Murray, guarded Jokic in the first half when we went small. He can guard 1 through 5, and just the intensity he brings defensively every night. And then, like I said, being able to block some shots around the rim, tip outs on the glass, and then be able to make a shot, but just understanding how to play the game, understanding spacing. And like I said, he's huge for us.
Coach, going back to Zoo, you talking about he was a monster on defense tonight. I think that his discipline on Jokic is a big part of that. Him not fouling, him closing out, and showing his hands essentially. But can you talk about what that does for the other 4 guys on the court to allow Zoo to be solid, not foul, but be disciplined when he's going to get Jokic?
It's huge, and nobody can guard him one-on-one, but if we have Zoo on him, we want him to bang and try to wear him down as much as possible. But I thought he did a really good job just around the basket, guarding him one-on-one, staying big, jumping after Joker jumps so you won't get fouls, and was very disciplined tonight. And I thought even, when Joker was on the perimeter, just being closer, like not giving up threes, being closer. And this whole series for us has been about being closer to our guys. And so I thought tonight we took a step in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Well, you've been with Nico for a long time, but just what can you say about the impact that he made tonight's game starting in that second half?
Just gave us some spacing on the floor offensively, as well defensively, just being active, guarding Jokic, showing his second hand on him, able to come over and get some good blocks on a weak side. That's what he did tonight.
You obviously have a lot of deep playoff experience. Is there anything you tell your teammates going into Game 7 about just what that environment's going to be like on the road?
You know, that we've been there before. We played there. This is going to be our 4th time. So just play like any other game. Let's go out there and have fun. Let's stay locked in with each other. And got to talk. And, you know, like I said before, they're a good team at home. So we got to be able to come out in that first quarter.
Kawhi, Ty talked about calling all of you guys, checking your temperature. What do you think that meant to each individual, to the team, to have to do that?
What you mean by calling?
He said that he called everybody to talk about the game over 36 hours, just to check you guys, make sure you guys are all staying positive, as long as you could win this game.
Oh yeah, I mean he usually does that. It was nothing new. Other than it was nothing new. Like during the season, winning streaks or losing streaks, he's calling us just to see what we feel with the lineup and you know, getting insight of how we should play defensively with matchups or whatever. Really working for the player. He's pretty good at that.
Just the performance James had, knowing that he's probably looking forward to bouncing back. Like, what was the conversations like with him going into today, right before the game, and how did you feel like he was able to, managing it through in 45 some minutes?
I mean, he's been here before. You know, like I had said before, guys have games when they don't play well during the season. So it's just another game. So I knew he was going to be able to come back or he was going to be aggressive and try to get to his spots. And, you know, his skill showed that he was able to make shots tonight.
Kawhi, you said, this could be your 4th time that you guys have been going to Denver in this series. You guys have won there. Is that something you can draw on, that you guys have won there previously in this series and use that going into a Game 7?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. We know we can have the confidence to know that we have won, like you said. But it's going to be a different game. Like I said, we got to come out aggressive in the first quarter and hold them, make sure they don't get a big lead on us.
Coach Ty talked about Zoo being a monster defensively tonight against Jokic. Can you talk about what it does for the other 4 players on the court when you have a big man like Zoo who doesn't back down from a guy like Jokic?
It's great, you know what I mean? He's very competitive. That's what you want on your team, guys that's just wanting to compete, you know what I mean? Even if he has a skill to compete and to play great. But with me, I just want guys that, have that mindset of just wanting to get through a challenge or take on a challenge, win, lose, or draw. And Zoo does that.
That's one, Miriam.
Kawhi, everything you've been through the last few years, how much are you enjoying this series and sort of this competition, this level of competition?
I'm enjoying every game. Like I said before, I've been on the sidelines the last couple of years in the playoffs, so I don't take it for granted, and I just try to cherish every moment and thank God that I'm able to play.
Thanks, Kawhi.
Need that because it seemed like the added spacing allowed you to get downhill more and attack the rim.
Just putting emphasis on it. I mean, that's been the game plan all series. But just having every single time I touch the ball, just attacking the paint. Honestly, was just focused on winning and executing the game plan to the best of my ability this game.
There was a lot of attention from the outside on James, and considering he played a little bit subpar, considering the standard. What did you make of how he came out today and performed?
That was good. The pace was good, controlling the offense, getting out, attacking the switches and mismatches that we wanted him to attack, not waiting so they can load up. But we need that same pace, that same aggression, that same focus and controlling the game, and making sure there's a balance of him attacking and being able to draw defense in and kick the ball out and find openings from the added attention of them trying to fire and blitz him and get the ball out of his hands.
You guys have lost 2 in a row, then won 2 in a row, and then lost 2 in a row heading into this one. Just what was the overall mood of the team, just the mentality heading into a game like this?
Everybody was it's even killed, not too high, not too low. Everybody was just focused on how we can be better. T, who came in and showed us the film our own mistakes, not game plan mistakes, messing up on coverage and things like that, just our own lack of focus in game 5. And then just our mentality on the defensive end, picking up pressure and not being back on our heels. That's been our identity all year long. We're a pressure team. We're a ball pressure team. We're a team that brings the physicality and the pace into the game.
As somebody who's grown up playing basketball as a kid and loves the game, how cool was it for you, or what was going through your head when you hit that final kind of clutch shot to seal the game at home on your own T-shirt night in the first, playoff? Like, that must have been a cool moment.
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about all that. I was just focused on winning the game. I pride myself in the work that I put in. I pride myself in being ready for these big moments and coming through for my teammates when they need me most. I think if you look at my playoff career, I've been able to do that in big games, being called upon, role changing, starting in playoff series, coming off the bench, things like that. It's all prepared me for moments like this. In those times, I just focus on the game and trust my work and staying in the moment, nothing outside, off the court, whatever's happening. All that matters is one possession at a time and what I have to do to make a play.
What can you guys draw from the first 3 games in Denver going into this game 7?
We can look at the first 2 and how we need to play and how we need to be and how we need to compete. And then we can look at game 5 and know what we need not to do, and our mentality needs to be the same mentality that we had here. No setbacks, no drawbacks, no taking our foot off the gas. We have the blueprint. We know what we need to do, and it's going to take everybody stepping on that floor, being tight and communicating, and bringing that pressure and that grit and that attack mentality.
I know y'all been even killed, but did your teammates say something to you when you caught the 2 bodies or no?
No.
They didn't say nothing?
Nah, they were just screaming and yelling. Like I said, I'm just focused on making a play. That's what I do. People get caught up with my threes and everything like that, but I made my name dunking on people coming into the league.
Yeah, you did, for sure. Okay.
Norm, we talked about the community aspect of Toronto and the way that Jurassic Park grew, and the other night on the Plaza they had over 1,000 fans. What do you make of the way that the community has been rallying around this building and having events like that now?
I mean, it's amazing. I love it. You first coming here, you hear everybody talking bad about the Clippers and how we're the little sister team to the Lakers and everything like that. But having our own space, having a place where people can come and really get into the Clipper spirit and build that fan base and connect is huge, and I saw the Instagram posts and everything on social. The turnout's amazing, I'm definitely looking forward for a bigger turnout for Game 7. The fans have been amazing in our home games here in the playoffs, and just to continue support, we feel that, we feed off that, and we're looking forward to going out and putting a good product in for Game 7.
Norm, you've been through several of these battles now in your career. Has this postseason felt more physical to you than the past ones?
Honestly, I feel like the postseason is always physical. I think they let a lot of things go. Just like continually talking to the officials and things like that. I don't know. I think the postseason has always been physical. They let things slide. They let you play, and let the best out of the best win. But we have to be the ones that set the aggression, set the tone. If we do that, then I think we'll be able to, get those whistles and those calls. They can't call everything, but being the physical guy to show that this is how the game is going to be played tonight is huge. I think we did that tonight. We need to do that going into Game 7.
I know that slow starts have been an emphasis for Ty. I think today was a bit better, but what is it about? What could you guys do differently, especially heading there? I think they've been able to. I think last game they were up 12 after 1. How do you start off games better? I guess.
Just like I said, just putting the pressure. I think we did a great job today. They're a team that comes out really fast out the gates. But I thought we were able to, catch their momentum, make it tough with them, and offensively, our pace and the way we're attacking the game, really be able to let us settle into the game and. Hold their run in the first quarter. I think we got out the first quarter down 3 or something like that, which is huge. We were able to put points on the board and a few more smarter plays defensively. We'll get them to a 25-point quarter.
You usually talk about understand the grind. Can you really talk in detail what that means and what that entails?
Oh man, understand the grind is just, like I said, it's a mindset that I've always talked about, and how your daily approach and what you're trying to go after. That's been me since I was a little kid. Put it into work, sacrificing time to my friends and my family because I had a goal in mind, and it's a message for everybody who's trying to pursue something in life. It doesn't have to just be sports, but it's a mentality that you're going to go in and put the work in. The good days, bad days, obstacles, things going well, it's a continued focus on improving and going after your goal. And that's what Understand the Grind is about. It's just a mentality and how you're going to approach and attack every single day and to reach your goals.
Thanks, Norm. Okay, last one.
All right, sorry. Last week you joked about how Nico's old in basketball years and all this stuff, and you don't count his international credentials or anything. Does anything he does still surprise you at this age, though, with the way that he's able just to go into a game and just change it the way that he can?
No, I've been watching Nico for a long time. You know, he's a professional. You know, that's one thing that he always tells me: professional basketball player. And I think he's very smart. He's very heady. And you know, he has experience since he was a teenager, playing in moments like this, stages like this, and being a team player and doing what it takes for the team to win, sacrificing himself for the greater good and going in there and making the tough plays, the hard plays, the gritty plays that really swings the momentum to win basketball games.
Okay, thanks, Norm.
Thank you, Norm.
Just to refocus and go out there and find a way to remove some of the mistakes, and we know they're going to be ready for us. The squad's going to be ready for us as well, so it won't be an easy game for sure to go forward. And it's going to be a good game, so keep it.
I think it was momentum. Is momentum a real thing? Like you guys had 2 wins in a row, then 2 losses. So like the mentality coming into today's game, was anyone down after?
It's game 7. It's like 0-0, nothing. Pretty much. Like we don't care about what happened for this game. Like just do or die for the team. So just go out there and fight. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Nico.
James is obviously a guy who's been playing really well for you guys. Struggled the last couple of games. What do you think of the way he came out for you guys today?
He's our leader, you know, and I've been saying that since I came here, so nothing new. I don't think he struggled. He was just trying to. It's playoffs, you know. Teams are trying different tactics, different defenses. He was trying to get everyone involved. He's point guard, scorer. I mean, he needs to do a lot. So, I mean, I'm just happy that the way he played tonight.
It feels like this series, especially for you, you've had to really find your way in this series. How have you found your way? I mean, you're knocking down some threes. It feels like you've done more as a playmaker as well, some big rebounds. How have you found your way in this series? It's been, you know, a bit of a rough start.
I feel like, you know, the role in regular season and playoffs is completely different. But that's normal. That's, you know, as I said earlier, everybody's throwing different matchups. Everybody, you know, is playing off each other's mistakes, and it's so tactical, you know, as you can see, and you cannot make mistakes. You cannot stay on the floor. I started bad first game. I had a couple turnovers. That's why I had less minutes. I couldn't guard. Fixed my defense. Worked on it, and I mean, doing everything that I can to win and contribute winning. That's all that matters right now. This team, you know, as I said, this is a true team of a lot of pros. So that makes a lot job easier for me to approach the same way.
In the second quarter, you set a lot of ball screens for James to get switches and allowed him to get downhill. Do you like setting ball screens, like to free up guys, and then slipping out on the backside to be able to open up as a shooter?
I like to do whatever it takes to win. You know, at that moment, it's winning play. You just have to make winning plays. That's it.
You guys have played in Denver 3 times already. Is there anything you can draw on those first 3 times in Denver going into this game 7?
Every game is a new game. Nothing else to add. We'll be ready in 2 days to play them again.
You guys had lost 2 coming into this one. The heartbreak and the blowout, like mentality-wise, or you know, what was the vibe of the team coming in, and what was the mentality coming into this game? Everyone seemed kind of loose before the game.
I mean, we know we can take them at home as well. So we wasn't focused on what we did. We was focused on what we're going to do. So as long as we have that mentality.
In a series where it seems like getting rebounds has been kind of a frustrating moment in the clutch, you found a way to just sneak in there for some offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. How have you been able to pull that out? Because you appear out of nowhere every time you get it, too.
Watching tape, just trying to make winning plays. That's at that moment, that's what we need. I see the space, if I don't see it running back. I mean, it sounds simple, but as a team, you got to put team effort to make winning plays and put your team in the best possible situation to win a game.
You said earlier that you know the defense, your defense individually is not good, and it resulted in lower minutes. Is that just hit that you watched on that, and how have you, you know, I think they've been trying to attack you. I think how have you tried to adapt to that and make sure that it's not as easy for them?
It's approach, it's mentality, it's tape, it's watching, it's practice, all that combined. You know.
Thanks, Bogey.
Thank you.
Thank you.